Spurs have been crying out for a 1v1 dribbler who can make an instant impact on the starting 11, sorry Yoda Bear, for over 2 years now. And in Mohammed Kudus, they will certainly have that. In fact, in the entirety of the top 5 leagues last season, Kudus ranks 3rd, both in total and per 90, for successful dribbles, behind only Jeremy Doku and Lamine Yamal, 2 players who obviously are not in Tottenham's scouting pool. And, of course, the fact that he's done that for a pretty woeful West Ham side makes it all the more impressive. If we look at where those dribbles are happening, we can see that although some are in the high and wide areas you would expect to see Kudus utilised by Tottenham, a lot of the time they're in deeper, sort of midfield positions. In these instances, West Ham are actually using Kudus in a way that, to Spurs fans, will be a little reminiscent of how Tottenham utilised Moussa Dembele. They're firing the ball into him at hip height and he's receiving it isolated, under pressure, but more often than not, he's able to combine his technical brilliance with his athletic dominance, shrug off multiple challenges, and either he offloads the ball safely to a teammate or he wins a foul to progress his team up the pitch. Maybe we will see that occasionally at Spurs if the tactical context calls for it, but you'd expect his role at Spurs to be more similar to the one he played out wide at Ajax. The team already have controlled possession and territory of the ball, and the 1v1 winger's job is to isolate one defender, beat them, draw a second opposing defender, and then move the ball on in a smart way for his team to take advantage of the space that's been created. Now, there can be little doubt over Kudus' ability to beat his man, even from a zero momentum situation. Instead, the concerns I do have are around the decisions he makes after completing his dribble. Of course, the context at West Ham is different, but in these situations, we often see Kudus go back in for an unnecessary extra dribble, or misplay his pass, or make a pretty low quality cross, or perhaps most often and most frustratingly, take a rather ill-advised shot from distance that is instantly blocked. At Ajax, we see him in that setting we'd expect at Spurs. His team are dominating the ball and his job is to create problems for the opposition. We still see a lot of those same frustration-causing decisions. Now, on his shot selection, it probably is worth pointing out that Thomas Frank is renowned for coaching his players away from snatching at low probability chances. And this really is the crux of the purchase. Mohammed Kudus has extremely enviable tools at his disposal, ones that any coach would be keen to get their hands on. If Spurs coaching team can take the brilliance that Kudus already offers and shape it, both with direct one-to-one coaching, but also with the optimal surrounding structures in place, shape it into something that is just a little bit more efficient in the final third, then Kudus could well be that low block unlocker that will add an entire new dimension to Thomas Frank's tactical game. Oh, and there's how much it's upset West Ham fans as well.